Hello YouTube, TerraXol here. For this video I will show you a really cool and mind-blowing quantum experiment which you can do at home at a very low cost. Please note that I'm not a physicist in any way. I would say that I only have a kind of a basic understanding of quantum physics. And I might be totally wrong in many of the things that I'm saying here. It is just that I find stuff like this really fascinating. Of course, I don't think that what I'm about to show you is anything new at all. It's just so that I happen to play around and experiment with my laser pointer, just out of boredom, and I just noticed this. If you're not familiar with quantum physics in any way, I just first want to say that what you're about to see here is some really mind-blowing stuff regarding the nature of reality, at least it was for me. Maybe this might even change the way you look at reality itself, so please make sure that you really know what you're getting into before proceeding. Just a friendly warning. So first you would need to understand the double slit experiment, and I recommend checking out Dr. Quantum's double slit experiment here on YouTube, which is mind-blowing in itself, and that would give you a basic understanding of what this is all about. So I put a link to that in the description. So please do that before watching the rest of this video, then you can come back and get your mind blown even further. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Okay, so for this experiment I'll be using a simple cheap laser pointer in which I have attached a wire that runs through the opening, and by doing so you create a somewhat simplistic version of the double slit experiment. So if I shoot this on the wall, we will clearly see an interference pattern. So far so good. Now what I've also done is that I have put ultrasonic humidifier that will shoot mist that will hit the wall. So if I plug this in, and then shoots the laser at the wall, and you'll see what happens. So this is really weird. As you can see, you can only see one single laser beam hitting the wall through the mist. But you don't see even a slightest hint of any of the other rays of light that are on the way to hit the wall where the interference pattern is. It's like the mist don't even exist for them. It's obvious that classical laws of physics don't really apply here, but if I would assume that they were, then you could say that one of the reasons for not seeing these rays making up the interference pattern is that they aren't strong enough, because it's obvious that the visible beam is the most intense. But still, I somehow feel like these rays making up the interference pattern should be at least strong enough to be able to see them even the slightest bit through the mist. So this gotta be a quantum effect. The one and only reason I can think of why you don't see these rays is that they are in a superposition. They don't even exist as particles, only as waves of potentials, until they are observed or measured. They are in a way everywhere and nowhere at the same time. For me, this is experiencing quantum weirdness and superposition with my very own eyes. I even tried to reposition the humidifier at the beginning of the beam and in the middle just to see if there was any difference, but no. I could still only see one single beam of light. There is some questions though, especially why this beam in the middle is still visible through the mist. And I think the reason is that there's got to be two different sets of light coming from the laser pointer. I think that one light exists as particles where its wave function have already collapsed, while the other light only exists as waves of potentials. Most likely because this isn't in any way a professional double slit experiment. It's just a thin wire that's loosely attached across the opening of a cheap laser pointer after all. Meaning that there's lack of precision and probably a lot of other environmental factors that causes this. From what I understand of how quantum physics works is that if there's any information present anywhere in the universe that allows you to tell which path that this light took, then the wave function collapses and there will be no interference pattern. So that must be the case with the light that is visible through the mist. But as with the other light that made the interference pattern, there was simply no way ever that we could possibly tell which path that this light took. I know that there's still a lot I don't understand regarding this, and there might be some important stuff I didn't take into account. But feel free to enlighten me and tell me what you think of this in the comments. I know there's a lot of you people who are way more into this and that are a lot smarter than I am. I think it's still a really cool experiment though. This really blew my mind. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. And please consider donating to my PayPal. Any donation, no matter how small, would be greatly appreciated. That will help me out a lot. So see you next time, and remember, embrace life and stay lucid.